chaos and destruction.
You said Dima is being tracked. Where is she?
Oh, she's motoring around, gathering intel she thinks is important to the rebel cause. Something about vehicles catching fire over Port of Dracon.
What?
Now, them military gunboats there. Hey, son, nice flying. Perfect
Thank you, sir.
three-pointer.
Focus, Sheldon.
Oh, right. Now, the military gunboats there, well, they're speeding off trying to stop her.
Military gun. Why didn't you start with
Don't worry, Rico. Everything's under control. Your pal Mario's with her.
Mario? Useless.
Bon voyage!
Mario, are you there? Answer me, Mario. Sheldon, where's Mario?
I would assume he's wherever those reinforcements are going.
If he gets hurt, you take the blame, Sheldon.
Don't be so dramatic. I'm sure your special little friend will be just fine. Oh, hey, Rico. You might want to watch out for those missile batteries.
Missile batteries. Sheldon, what am I heading into?
Well, at least they're making it interesting. Di Ravello seems to have a bee in his bonnet when it comes to Dima.
soldiers and this minefield. Can you drive us through?
Dima's not really up.
Oh, Rico, there you are. Have made small modifications to vehicle. Equipped with nitrous.
Oh, careful of the mines, Rico. They got a hair trigger.
I'll be careful. What are you two doing out here anyway?
Rico, rebels report that when scouting Col de Dracon, vehicles catch fire on approach. Very curious. Gathering information from contacts.
I sank your battleship.
Rico, go to shore and make contact. Should have information for you about FOW near Col de Dracon.
Someone beat us to your contact, Dima. They're dead.
Inconvenient.
Dima?
What? Oh, yes. Also regrettable. Must hurry. Next contact may be in danger also.
We're too late for this one too, Dima.
Damn it!
If they got this one, I don't think we'll be happy with what we find next.
I'm concerned. Next contact will not be dead.
I guess you got Di Ravello scared when you wrote that list, eh, Rico?
Unsettling that military has put so much resistance directly along route.
It's like Di Ravello knows what we're going to do before we do it.
Maybe someone's telling us.
want to stay.
We agreed to, Dima.
Oh, well, yes. Situation changed, Anika. More dangerous than predicted.
I can see that.
Dima, are you
I'm
going to introduce
talking
me
to
to your,
Tio,
Rico?
I'm Mario, my bro.
I am not your bro.
I think you underestimated the value of your information, Dima. Why would you want to piss off Di Ravello? I want double.
No.
1.5.
No.
You're still a hard ass. Damn it. Tio! Dima, stay in the cabin.
You, tough guy, you just gonna stand there?
This should be interesting. Rigo and etc. windy day again, eh?
Mario! Dima, I need your help.
Move! Let's get him inside! Annika, I can stabilize him at home.
Rico, I'll show you where.
Right.
How much further?
Not far.
Rico, frate, did I do okay?
You're not done yet.
I always wanted to do good by you, Rico, ever since we were kids. Oh, man, I wish we was working on that car now. 17 years old, not a care in the world.
Me too, Mario.
You remember, Rico? Man, I haven't been happy since the morning after the bonfire.
Here, Rico, pull up here.
Careful.
I got it.
How does it look?
Internal bleeding, heavy trauma, most likely fatal.
Dima, work on your people skills.
Can those two be trusted?
I'm not part of the rebellion, but share the same enemy. Don't worry, Tio's repaired worse.
I hope you're right. Keep me posted on Mario.
That all you got?